You that seek what life is in death, now find in air that once was breath. New names unknown, old names gone. Till time end bodies, but souls none. Reader, then make time, while you be but steps to your eternity. Baron Brooke. Welcome to Awesome Reader, where we review different books by different authors. This Sunday we review When Breath Becomes Air by Paul Kalinithi. About the author. Paul Sudhir Arul Kalinithi was an Indian-American neurosurgeon and a writer. He was born in April 1977 and died March 2015. His book, When Breath Becomes Air, is a memoir about his life and illness battling stage 4 metastatic lung cancer. It was posthumously published by Random House in January 2016. It was on the New York Times non-fiction bestseller list for multiple weeks. The book has 225 pages. The photo of a surgeon on the cover, quite a simple cover, light blue. Currently, the book retails at Kenya shillings 1,000. To the highlights of the book. The book essentially has two parts. That is, apart from the introduction, which includes the prologues and forward. Part 1 is titled In Perfect Health, I Begin, and Part 2 titled Cease Not Till Death. The foreword of the book has been written by Abraham Verges. Abraham Verges is an American physician, author, professor for the theory and practice of medicine at Stanford University Medical School. So, a senior associate chair of the Department of Internal Medicine. He has done 3 other books, 2 memoirs, and a novel. The introduction of the book starts on Paul reviewing the CT scans image and it becoming obvious of the diagnosis. He is in a familiar room, a room that he has seen many patients in, and now he has become the patient. He was dressed in patient clothes and IV lines in his arms, quite a contradictory to what he has been used to. It all started with back pains. X-ray could not reveal anything. Thinking it's fatigue from work, he decided to take a vacation with his wife Lucy and visit some friends in New York. Somehow Lucy, his wife, did not want to take the trip. Their work was putting a lot of strain on their relationship, and such, they wanted to enroll in couples therapy. He went for the trip alone, and the pain became unbearable, and he had to cut short his trip with his friend helping him back home. In Perfect Health, I Begin. This is where Paul begins telling us about his family, his schooling, and how he met Lucy, his wife. You get to see how he grapples with taking neurosurgery vis-a-vis taking literature. He met his wife Lucy at Stanford and they got married after medical school, moving to California where they settled. Reading In Perfect Health, we have semblance of Adam Kay book. Adam Kay wrote This Is Going to Hurt, which was based on his diaries from his former career. In the book, he illustrates the hours doctor put in somewhat a comical way. But for Paul, getting up the career ladder was key, and putting in the hours was an obvious thing. Paul speaks of various surgeries he did and how it impacted on his life, how he derived the meaning of life and death from the same. Cease Not Till Death forms part 2 of the book. It begins as him and his wife, Lucy, look at the images of the CT scans. The diagnosis was clear, and that his cancer had invaded multiple organs. This brings them close, and it's here now we get to hear also the involvement of his family. Paul started on his first line of treatment, which was a tablet that helped him regain his strength. And also, since he had stopped working, he also managed to get back to surgery. He needed to complete his residency if he was to graduate and get somewhat relief on his rigorous job. Before starting on the treatment line, they agreed to have a child, and such they had to ensure this is done through IV. After some months, the cancer came back again, and this time it hit him hard. They went to the second line of treatment, which was chemo. Chemo was heavy on him. It was almost about to kill him, but he managed to survive. Whilst he was having these difficult times, he also managed to start on writing this book. Their love and bond as a couple increased, and since Lucy was also expecting, they had routines as a family, together as a family. At this point, it became apparent they were just looking at the comfort of life while they were trying various trial medication. Lucy gave birth to a baby girl called Kedi, who this book is dedicated to. He was with Lucy in the ward as he went through labor. 8 months after the birth of his daughter, Paul had an attack, and since he said there was no Hail Mary, the family agreed to remove the tubes he was using for breathing, and all of them by the bedside watched as Paul died. He died March 9, 2015, as written on epilogue, which was done by Lucy Kalinithi. In my opinion, the moment I picked up the book, I knew it's going to be a hard read. It's a small book, simply written, but heavy with emotion. You get drawn to the book, and Paul becomes a friend. He becomes so close that when you see him being wasted away by the disease, you begin to shed tears. When you see him on the epitome of his career, he has reached the proverbial place called there. Then everything falls, just like a deck of cards. You question death, life, purpose of living. This is a must-read book. But have a pack of tissue next to you. This is Awesome Reader. Have you read When Breath Becomes Air by Paul Kalinithi? If you have, let's take the discussion in the comment section below. Meanwhile, subscribe, like, and share this video. This has been Awesome Reader. Till next Sunday, let's keep reading.